Hey, BonBonB here with a bit of treasure hunt and a very early welcome to Evil Dave of Canada in the chat. Hi, Dave. Good to have you along. And to anybody who's watching this on catch up, hi, BonBon here. Today we're going to be doing the looking at some random maps off the workshop which have no thumbnail, no description, or very little description, no screenshots. Hi, Parent PJ from South Africa. I'm not going to do accents. Not going to do accents. But anyway, yeah, Canada. We've got South Africa. Where are you from? Are you from one of the locations in today's map? Well, at least one of them is going to be a real life location. But all I know is what you're going to know. And I'll share that with you as we load the maps up. Now, before we get started this week, what I want to do is say, if you're enjoying this sort of content, I have got some exciting news. Evil Dave, catch up or catch up. Oh, saucy. Anyway, what I want to say is, if you like this show, if you like this style of content, I've got some exciting news for you from January 2023. There are some big changes coming to the channel. I've come to some realizations about where the channel is going. We're not growing. I mean, the subscriber count is going up and up and up, but the views are plateaued. They've been plateaued for quite some time now. A little spike during lockdown. Always seem to have a little bit of a pickup between April and May, and then it drops back down again. So yes, Evil Dave, whatever you say. But yes, so I've had this dawn of realization that things are going to need to change. Now, I've given it a few more weeks on top of making this decision just to see whether things can change. And as you'll know, I've changed What's Map from being daily to bi-daily every 2 days, but with 2 reviews in each show to see how that worked. I've been juggling things about, just making some minor changes. I'm not going to announce everything that's going to change in the new year. The only thing I can tell you, the one thing that won't be is the weekly chart show on a Sunday. That works. Okay, it doesn't get massive views, but I honestly feel it's the most worthwhile thing I do on this channel, with the exception of when I make tutorials, which I'm trying to make more time for. And part of what I'm doing with the restructuring of the channel will be making room for tutorials and other stuff. Why not other stuff as well? What's Map will continue under a new format. The top maps of the month will continue under a new format. There's a whole lot of new formats. One thing that will continue, though, is this show. Now, with a difference. With a difference. I probably will continue doing this exact show maybe occasionally. But if you like this, but you wish there were better maps, then I've got just the thing coming. I really have. Bear me 1 second. I'm croaky, but I don't want to be coughing into the microphone, so I'm just going to mute while I cough. Still tail end of a throaty, chesty virus that I had a little while ago. So I'm sipping away and trying to stay. But yes, seeing the chatting away there. Yes, Parent PJ, I have plans for tutorials, including what you've said there about a tutorial on the map editor, partly scripted for this year, but what with everything went wrong this year. My mother got sick, went into hospital, passed away sadly, and this 10-part tutorial series on map making just went flat. It just wasn't happening. I think people appreciate it and understand it, and it's still on the list of things to do, which I will be doing as soon as I can. But the point of today is this show will continue, but will be, once we get into 2023, it'll become more of a niche thing we'll do every now and then. But if you want to see better maps on this particular show, I've got something coming in the new year, which will definitely please for some of you. Part of it will be going behind the paywall, the Patreon YouTube membership paywall, where some of them will be free to view, and some of them will be for BonBon buddies only. I've got to try and make a living somehow. But WhatMap, the regular WhatMap show, will remain free to view, but it will have some big changes, which you'll see. I think it's going to be appreciated more than not. At least I hope so. Anyway, right. So what have I got for you today? Well, if I open up that one, you can see the game is up and running. I have 6 maps shortlisted for today. Life does happen, as does death, sadly. It's something that I'm able to smile and giggle a bit. Well, smile about now, but not giggle. There's no giggling. I've lost my mum, but I love her. I miss her. I talk to her every day. What can you do? I talk to her more now than I did when she was alive. So bless you, mum. Right, so I've got 6 maps. Normally I put them into some sort of order. What I think is going to be the most popular map or the best map normally comes in at about number 3. I've still done that today, but I don't really see much beyond the 3rd map, which tells me that a map might be any good or not. Most of them are first maps, if not second maps. And there's not really much in the way of clues to suggest whether or not a map's going to be any good or not today. So we're going to have a look. See what we've got. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide, as I always do. Let me hide the screen while I load up the map, because I don't want people being like, oh, I've seen that map on the workshop, and then going and sharing hate. We're not here for sharing hate. We are here for checking out maps. Now, let me see. New game. And we're looking for, I do believe it's that one. Let me just make sure, cross-check to make sure I've got the right creator name, because some of these maps aren't brilliantly named, but it is. Right, so today's first map, it's basically called New Map, not necessarily in English. You know, there are all New Cart, Nova Map, and so on. So in its own language, it says New Map. It's a base game European vanilla, and we'll be using Realistic 1.2 eventually. There are no resources on this map at all. We've got a reasonable amount of water and trees. So, I mean, forestry. You could do forestry. And we will get this up and running. Now, I'll share the screen once I know we are definitely, I think we're about there now. So, yeah. What can I tell you on today's first map? In terms of my notes, it's basically called New Map. I do believe that the creator is probably Polish. So there is that. And I believe it's their first map, but I think it's had a couple of re-ups leading up to this one. Ironically, this is the only one that doesn't actually have a thumbnail. The other 2 have a thumbnail, so I've got a rough idea of what might be coming. Alternatively, it might not be the same map at all. It might be a completely different map. They all have the same name. So new map, new map, new map. And maybe this is a new map rather than the same, but rather than the map that I've been looking at over there. I know what I'm talking about. I know I'm waffling. Let's have a little look at the chat. Again, I'm just going to croak. Back with you. Right, so where we go. Like the show, but I like the old format before YouTube killed the voting. Oh, in terms of what map? Yes, it was definitely better when you could actually vote on YouTube. Having it pushed across anywhere, like it could have gone to Google Voting, but as I've got a Patreon page and it's free, it makes sense rather than having just another source of another location to vote on. It made sense to transferring that across to Patreon. But yes, that will be changing also. There's very little that's going to be staying the same. That will be changing also. What have we got? Maybe a group maps by terrain type. The problem with grouping maps by terrain type, I mean, you're talking about the vanilla biomes there. For those of you that are maybe playing catch up. Evil Dave has listed Boreal, Tropical, European Winter, etc. Those are obviously the base game biomes. And then, but if you're talking about terrain type, then how do you decide between where do you draw the line between a flat map or a coastal map? What happens if a map is coastal and flat? Is it flat and coastal? What happens if half of the map, if it's one of these cleverly designed maps, that half the map is mountainous? And you look at it, you go, oh, it becomes very difficult to list maps by category. Once that happens, let me just throw me down to a smaller image. You don't need my big old face across the screen, do you? Let me shut down. Ignore the this thing. I haven't got round. I'm not really using tree and vehicle props at the moment, so this isn't bothering me. Rico, I'm just shutting this down and shut that down and that one down. But yes, the biome type. Yeah, indeed. Right. Let's have a look at those set this to presets. What map preset? There we go. That's now a bit brighter. Okay, so before I move the camera, let's just get a first impression of this. Looks like cutouts. Looks like it's been probably a flat map where they've just basically drawn water at a lower level. Don't think we've got a working river system. Maybe we do. Don't know. But probably not. Looks like it might be mass transit because we have a single lane bridge going on there. Comes to ground and just stops, which I guess is okay. Doesn't look like the biggest amount of buildable space where the bridge comes in, but we do have access to lots of islands. So as start squares go, my instinct is it's a bit clunky, but it looks okay to me. And it looks interesting. We've got forestry here. It looks interesting. I've seen a lot worse. I've seen a lot worse. Let's do some spinning and spanning and parking the. So yeah, that's the start square. So yeah, actually, there's a lot more buildable space up here than I was really expecting there to be. Let me share that with you. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Don't know what's going on with this bit of road here. We'll check this out when we do the fly by. Let's pull back and see what we've got. Oh. Now I'm thinking real life location somewhere. Couldn't tell you where. If you recognise where this is, do let me know in the chat because yep, this could be. I mean, we've got the islands, so I'm suspecting we've got the sea off this way. Could this be something like Stockholm? Again, Stockholm's not an island, though, is it? But it could be somewhere because I'm thinking the water's coming out this way, so I mean it could be an American style build. Could be American City again. With the coast over this way. I don't know. Any ideas? Any ideas in the chat? Have a little look there. Seeing a couple of extra messages I'll catch up with in a moment. So yeah, I'm not ignoring you. I will read those in a moment. Right, let's do the standards. I expect this to be perfectly flat. Yeah, that's perfectly flat. I expected flatness. Resources we know is just trees. We knew that immediately from the off. If you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's very flat. Yep, we kind of expected that. A little bit of anchovy down here, if you want a bit of anchovy. A bit of anchovy here as well, for that matter. Okay, excuse me. Let's have a little look at the shipping routes, because we can, and because we should. Now, if one shipping route comes into the start square, I'll give some credit for that. It comes into the start square. That's a good thing. And then you can access it via this landmass, this Long Island. Long Island, anybody? And we've got a separate shipping route. Heads up this way, and through and out. You know what? Oh, and we've got another one over here. I am suitably impressed for what we're seeing, for what we're expecting. I'm suitably impressed. That's all cool. We'll talk about this bridge in a minute. I think there's obvious talking points on that bridge. But, okay, water flow in the start square. There's the next one. As your start square, I think it really matters an awful large amount. We didn't expect to see much in the way of water flow. We haven't seen much in the way of water flow, if any. But you could draw from here, pump out there. You won't get any sewage getting into your water system. It won't look pretty, but you know, what can you do? I'm okay with all of that. I'm okay. I think this is a pretty solid attempt at a first map. Yes, it's very flat, but flat's a thing, isn't it? Intersections. Are we going to see? Yeah, we're just seeing trees just clipping through on the intersections here. So we start the simulation up. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I did say something about mass transits, didn't I? I'm expecting. Oh, this is trees under the road. What the tree count is. I think the tree count's going to be okay. We haven't gone stupidly crazy. I think the tree count's going to be fine. 130,000. Absolutely fine. And not a single prop. So they haven't gone to the, I've got to detail this, just in case BonBon reviews it. Because there's no way BonBon's going to look at this map, is there? Really? A little bit of bowing. A lane merging could be a lot more polished. A little bit of a dimple here and there. Yeah, whatever. Rail is, I mean, what you'd want from the rail, I guess. This bridge is kind of low. We've got the wires running through the concrete. So that's just a little bit of, anal gripery there from me. Oh, it's got to be perfect. What's going on over here? They had an idea, didn't finish doing it. That's what that is. I don't have any big problems with that. That's just a couple of clicks of the demo button. Looks like we did a little bit of late terraforming here because we've got a lot of water disturbance going on. I think this was wider, and then they've closed it up to, just a bit of terraforming. Haven't let the simulation run in the map editor, and so the water was still stacked, sharing room with the land, and therefore it's been pushed out. And we're going to get a bit of an early map tidal wave heading off that way. So I expect to see a little bit of flooding if we were to be here for any length of time with that. A little bit of interesting side rail going on here. Is this that's a regular road? It was the bridge. That was what I was talking about, wasn't it? There we go. No, that's normal. Ignore that. Not mass transit at all. Gonna croak again. Just bear with me. And I'm back with you. Yeah. Looking into the chat, we've got some really nice comments here. Playable. Thanks, Alvin. It is definitely playable. No problems with that. Score. I mean, I'll throw some numbers at it in a moment. We've got smoothing tool. Yeah, absolutely. John, it's definitely not dreadful. It's probably the best map we've ever had as a lead map on this show. So lots of credit for that. It's quite a challenge to get rivers flowing on the flat map, Alvin. I agree with you on that one. You can tell a Skylines player by the insane amount of physical RAM. Yes, somebody, when they got their new PC, made sure that they weren't going to have any RAM problems. Yeah, you're not wrong. Doesn't say who that somebody was, but it might have been me. All told, we've got a few little glitchy bits here and there. Nothing that, like I say, a little bit of the smoothing tool along the river edges won't clean up. That's not going to take any time at all. Just to tidy it up. I don't mind absolute sharp edges on a map like this. It's not a map that I would play on, but there's going to be many an inexperienced player want a nice easy map to play on with some interesting shapes in it. I think this is a goer. I think this is definitely a win. We've got, oh, hello. We've got a little bit of Blue Mantle going on here. This bridge here, is this not Bridges and Pillars DLC? Bridges and Piers DLC, sorry. I think it is. Let me just do a quick check on that. Oh, it might even be custom. It's a Revo. It's a workshop content. I take it back. This is Revo's work. It's not very slickly put into place here, is it? But good to see. Anyway, it's their first map. They've had a go. They've incorporated some workshop content, which I'm not going to blame them for. I don't think the map's going to be broken without the bridge, is it? Because the rail's still going to get down to Start Square via... This is just a vanilla bridge, isn't it? Yep. So we're going to still get down into the Start Square via any of the other routes. I'm spending a long time on this map, considering this the lead map. What am I seeing over there? Hang on. Are these just a few trees just dotted there? Yeah, just a few trees. I'm suitably impressed. I think this is definitely a real life location. Don't know where it is, but I imagine that it is. It just feels dynamic enough. These are, I'm guessing, vanilla clover leaves. Let's have a quick look at... Oh, no. That's not a vanilla clover leaf at all. Oh, excuse me. Although we do have 4 lanes going on here, which is... That is your mass transit. So it was a mass transit map after all. You will need mass transit for this one, and there as well. So yes, we've got some... I imagine those are taken from the workshop and just plopped in because this is probably identical. Yeah. So yeah, we've got some workshop content. They've experimented. I applaud it. I'm genuinely impressed. I'm not in a this is the best map I've ever seen kind of impressed, but as a first map from a creator who's just had a dabble, they've done really well. They have done really, really well. I'm tempted to share it. I'll think about sharing the link on that one because just credit for that. Let's have a little look. Hi, Erika. I don't have my Russian translation software plugged in at the moment. Hi, Mr. Nobody. And Styrestian. I can do that, can't I? Styrestian. It's got to be Styrestian. Hello, Domi. Hello, Domi. Is the map called Horrendousville? It's not. The map is actually called New Map, but in their local language. Yeah, I think that is that's creditable indeed. Let's drop out of here. I'm going to shut the game down. Excuse me. I'm going to shut the game down now, launch it again, and we'll have a look at map number 2. But that one was surprisingly not awful. Only published one. Yes, I'm going to find it, Alvin. I'm definitely going to find your work, and I'm going to shred it. And we'll click play. Of course, nice things in the comments where you can. I didn't lead with this one. I normally do. These maps could be first maps. It could be somebody with learning difficulties. It could be a young child. It could be somebody really old. It could be your own mother. We can try and be kind and supportive in the comments where we can, but I don't think that was too much really to moan about with that last one because that was very solid indeed as maps go. Excuse me. I had this chest infection a couple of weeks ago. I felt fine, but it's just still sitting there, and it won't go away. And as much as I can do with my my beverages and my custom merch, available. Link is in the description. Oh yeah. Right. We're at the Paradox screen at the moment. Coming out the Paradox screen now. and we can go back into that view there, hopefully. There we go. Right, so let me have a quick look at the next map, see what we've got lined up for you second. Right, well, if this is as good as that last map, it's going to be a very good show, one would suggest, yeah? Let me drop that down to here. Make sure that I'm not doing anything stupid, which I'm not, which is cool. And, oh, I didn't mean to go into there. Sorry, clicking so many buttons at the moment. New game. And find the map, which is this one. Right, okay, what can I tell you before we go into it? It's a vanilla temperate theme. We'll be using the realistic 1.2 LUT. There are resources, oil, ore, and fertile. Very light on all of them. And the water is about half full on the bar. Forestry is not showing us any, but that doesn't mean there isn't any trees, as I've discovered. And we'll give that a clickle. A clickle. We'll give that a little click. A clickle lick. That's what it's going to be. Oh. Right. And we are off. Brilliant. Now, let me read you my notes on this map. This second map is also called New Map in local, not in English. I think the creator is from China. It is their first map, and at the time that I subscribed to it, it had 1 subscriber, which was exactly the same as the previous map. I didn't mention that one. That had 1 subscriber when I subscribed to it. In fact, that is the highest score you're going to see today. You're going to have a couple of 0s and a couple of 1s. So yes, the creator is, I do believe, from China, and they've got a very interesting, almost bizarre username. I'm not going to complain about it. Doesn't affect the map. Don't it affect the map? No. Right. Oh, nice to see you, Parent PJ. Catch you soon, hopefully. I'm just going to croak again. Everything's going to be fine. It'll be fine once I can talk. And I'm back with you. Right, so we'll just wait for loading screen mod to do its bit. And who we got? The only thing the person of the first map should have done is the large brush smooth. Miss Nobi, you're not wrong. That would have definitely been an improvement. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm very happy with the start of today's show. Let's have a little look again. Let's lose that, and that. Start the simulation off. This one looks a lot more polished already, but I'm fearing there may be no trees on it at all, which could be interesting. My first instinct here is I'm not seeing any highway connections. They may be there because we haven't pulled back. I'm just doing the usual. Make some first impressions before you even touch the map. Let's load that first of all. There you go. Before I even touch the map, first impression from that. Looks a little bit more polished than the first map, but is it? I don't know. Let's go back to this. There we go. Is that better? Little me, so the big me. I think it probably is. Right. Okay, let's have a look at the start square as a whole. Well, there you go. Right, so there are some trees. If anybody's going to complain there are no trees, oh, I've got to do this now. I've got to do it. Tree count of 134. Not 134,000. 134. With no props. I think we know what we're going to find here, though. It's becoming very, very obvious. One can only hope we've got a shipping route that comes down and is accessible from here. But I've got a bad feeling that this second review is not going to take very long for us at all. Again, be kind in the comments because this creator, it might be a child, it could be someone with learning difficulties. We say it all the time. Kind in the comments. Try and find something positive. If you want to make a comment, but there's nothing you can find good to say, don't say anything. Or find something that's good or not awful that you can find a positive way of saying. Okay? That's what we're going to do today. Right. Well, I see ships. I also see an outside connection. There's a slight fail. There's a slight fail. Right. So the map as a whole. Let's do the terrain heights. There we go. It's bumpy where we got bumps. Quite kind of like the shape of it. You know, with all these little islands out here that you can stretch out to and do sort of offshore stuff with. That's pretty fun. Then, saying there's no resources, I might have lied. Although they are as good as... It's not surprising that the game didn't pick up on there being any resources in that loading screen. That is very, very light, isn't it? Then, if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing map is like so. Shipping, transport map. We have got an air route, crisscrossing. This could be interesting. Let me have a little look. So we have this one that I think is just going to run across the length of the map. Yes, I did see the, yep, that runs across the length of the map. This one is going to give us some right angle shipping turning. So shipping triangles would be nice. Same over here. Oh, and there's another one here as well. Let's see where this one goes. And that's heading up and around. And we've actually got a full loop going in there. I mean, they've had some fun. Yeah, we've got a full loop here and around. And then we've got this separate one that goes off the edge of the map over here. I mean, it's creative. Creative is what it is. Water flow in the start square. Let's have a little look for that. Again, it's going to be very light, if any at all. It's very shallow as well. So if you're going to want to pump and draw, it could be a bit troublesome because it is very, very shallow. You probably, if you start drawing from here, it's just going to be dry land around it, and then it will struggle to. Yeah, it could be a problem. Maybe just guessing. It could be a problem. Oh, we've got something over here. That's just land, isn't it? There. Let me come out of here. Yeah, that's just so real life location. There's obviously harbours here in real life that's showing up in the terrain height map, which they have smoothed. They have smoothed it. They've cleaned up the edges. Where the other map failed, this one has succeeded. But where this one fails is the highway and the rail, apparently, as well. It just doesn't reach the start square, which is a bit of an oops, one has to say. Then in terms of trees, I mean, there's 134 on the map. How many have we got here? 4, 5, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13. No, 11, sorry. 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 25. So there's about 109 trees somewhere else. Is that trees there? Yeah. That's about 100. I'm not counting them. That's probably 109 trees there. Yeah. Unfinished, I think, is the... if I was going to rename this map as something. But I don't hate the shape of it and the style of it. Like here, you can imagine bringing a highway around here. A little bit like Tarotcha Sea, one of my 90-minute map attack maps, where there was an area like this on the map where you could have built in as like a mining area. I mean, it's got not as a mining area here, obviously, because we have no we got no resources. But all told, this is... I mean, it's going to score one star because of gameplay, because we do have potential for a harbour if you've got the unlock mods. But yeah. Let me have a little look in the chat, see what you guys have got to say about this then so far. The water level looks off. Yeah. I think the problem with the water level... So, hang on a second. That's not right. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. is, I mean, could it be a little deeper? Possibly, it possibly could be brought up to this. Could this be the depth we're looking for? Let me. Oh, wow. Okay, well we've got no. I really wasn't expecting that. Hang on, we got water spawn points everywhere and no water motion. That is really surprising. Let's come to here. Yeah, there we go. The water is trying to. I wonder if the spawn points is actually holding the water down. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the spawn points aren't actually achieving anything. If we were to take these spawn points out, that was a very good spot. I'm just going to go and check the chat again, see who made that incredible spot. That was somewhat genius. Take a little pat on the back from BonBon there. That was really a very nice spot. I'm not going to take them all out. I'm just going to take all these out. And I will come and we will speed the simulation up so that will fill. Hopefully. So we get rid of all of them so that we don't. There's nothing stopping these from. There we go. Is that everything? There's a couple over here for what it matters. A little bit of flooding over there. That might have been caused by me, maybe. I mean, it's trying to fill. Do you know what? I think they may have had problems, full stop. I think that it might be that this is too shallow. And they put in all those spawn points to pump the water up a little bit because of the evaporation in this area has meant that it was just ending up. We get rid of here. So yes, taking all those spawn points out, we've got a real struggle now, haven't we? Really, really struggle. So what they probably should have done was just push that up a little bit and just see whether all this area here which I've just flooded, that is going to evaporate because there's no water spawn point up here. One would think it's going to evaporate. It's not. Is that actually below sea level now? Let me just drop it down a fraction. Yeah, I've come too far. Yeah, they probably should have come along here and just dropped the sea level a little bit with the terrain tool, just so that the water has a chance to actually fill in on the higher level. But all told, you know, they've not made a bad effort here. Who was that? Hold your hand up. Who picked the water level being low? Yeah, Alvin. Well done, Alvin. Hello, Eggsy. Hello, Random. Hello, Dan, to you as well. And Starweave. Hello, Mr. Last Episode Treasure Hunt. Good to have you along this time round as well. But yes, it's interesting in ways that the first map was. I think the first map has to score higher, even though this one looks like it's a lot more advanced. It looks like it's a lot more advanced, but I think the first one is much more playable in its current sort of, because we have no connection. Even if we had a connection, I think the other map is just a little bit more interesting. Anyway, I think at that point, let me throw that back to my big old face. Hello, big old face. That'll be me. Let me drop that back. We will launch up map number 3 in a moment. Anyway, how is everybody? You all having a good week? Are you? Are you having a good week? White Walker. Oh, Zach's. Not Zach. You're not Zach. Daniel. White Walker is here. Good to have you along. You're not Zach. Anyway, let's launch. Let's launch the game and have a look at map number 3. This is the one that I think is the one with the most potential for being a good map. Doesn't mean it's... I really didn't expect anything from the first 2 maps. And so we're already ahead of par on, or below. Below par should be good, shouldn't it? When people say it's below par, we're already ahead of the curve in terms of the standards expected tonight, and what we're getting, and well, I was expecting. So this one, I'm expecting is the one with the best chance of being good. It's probably going to be the worst, because that's the way things are sometimes. Anyway, yes, good to have you along. Anyway, White Walker, it's always good to catch up with some old friends and some old names. You've not been forgotten. I promise you've not been forgotten. Yeah, come on, game. Paradox Logo's just sitting, staring at me, teasing me, winking at me with its fossilized eyes. Right, that's now up. Let me have a little look at the notes for map number 3. So, right, I know what to look for now. So let me call up map number 3. New game. And it's called that. Right, okay. Well, I've lost a little bit of heart already with this one. It's vanilla temperate with will be the realistic 1.2 LUT. We have no resources, again, much as the last map. We do have more trees than the last map, though. That is about a quarter fill on the bar. And there's water as well, but not as much as on the last map. Right, as soon as this is definitely loading, I will share the screen with you. And there we go. So let me tell you why I rate this one as the one with the most potential for being the best map. First of all, the name of the map. It actually has a name. It's spelled correctly. It's punctuated correctly. We've got capital letters where there should be capital letters. And in terms of the name of the map, do you know what? It's a very good name. It's a name where you go, oh, that's exactly what I want to build on. Whether or not the map lives up to its name is a different thing altogether. The description, the creator is from the United States of America, with a fun name. I've no problem with the name at all. This is their second map. It had no subscribers at the time that I subscribed to it. The description reads as follows. Not giving you the name of the map, but the name of the map is a map based loosely on the British and Texas countrysides, because British countrysides exactly the same as Texas countrysides. Rolling hills and woodlands sprawl from a little pond at the center. Center spelt American style, which I'd expect from an American creator. British and Texas countrysides are both spelt with a lowercase. So where they score bonus points for the name of the map being capitalized, would have liked to see extra for the names of the country, the state and the country being capitalized as well. Would it be nice? I can let you off. I'm not gonna cry over spilt capitals. Right, okay. Before we do any spinning of this, let's have a little look. My instinct on the first view is, well, if they say this is the description said it was like around a pond, so maybe this is the pond in the middle of the map. I've got a drowned tree here. I can live with that. Looks like, without switching the lines of terrain on, I think this is quite a slope going on here. I reckon that's not going to be particularly buildable here. You can actually see the ruining of the terrain going on there. Buildable here, maybe. Let's hope we've got actually a highway connection in the start square. Let's pull back. I'll start simulation off. Pull back and see. Oh, you nearly did. You so nearly did. Right, anyway, so start square. For me, this is going to score 1 point for gameplay because when we get that, we'll have a look down there, but I don't think we're going to be able to get a connection with the road. I wish we could, but I think this is going to be a fail. Yeah, other than that, I mean, we've got this interesting shaped highway going around the outside. Let's have a little look at that. Yeah, there's not, is there? Mass transit. Oops, didn't mean to hit that button. Mass transit. There we go, mass transit. So mass transit required, which is not listed, which means the map is also broken for that one. Or didn't mean to come out there. There we go. So anyway, let's pull back and have a look at the map as a whole, as we always do. Well, I'm looking at, when I look at this, I'm going to be honest, the first thing I think is, oh, that's British countryside, that is. Not really. Could be Texas. I'm not really au fait with the countryside of Texas. I know we've got some dry areas in Texas, but we've also got some nice fertile areas in Texas as well. And we've got some wells in Texas, to that matter. Let's have a little butchers at the terrain heights. Yeah. It's a bumpy map. That was a hill there. Well, I did call that one. Resources, trees. It's like one of those like the James Webb telescope images, isn't it? Just like, oh, that's where the stars are. We point the camera at some stars. Oh, we found some stars. Well done. If we've got Sunset Harbour and we're doing some fishing, is that all 4? Goodness me. All 4 varieties of fish. Okay, this is a 5-star map. I'm really impressed. Bit of an eye in the middle there. And there better not be a shipping route. We have got air routes crisscrossing. We'll not even look any closer at that. And if you've got, you want to have moving water, give them some credit for that, will we, please? At least we've got some motion in the pond. What would work better is, because at the moment that's just pushing water out to replace evaporation. If we were to move, oh, hang on, I've gone and killed it now, haven't I? Let's put another one there. Come on. Oh, it's not going to let me because of I haven't unlocked all the other squares. But let's do this. One there, and we'll do one over here as well. I'm going to drop that down just a little bit. Right. So what we have here, you've got a spawn out here that's going to push the water up. A spawn over here which is going to draw the water down. So you should get moving water from here going across to here. So you'll actually get some moving water in the lake. I have, however, just basically killed the lake. Although there are definitely some drowned trees which were not down to me. These were already wearing their trunks. But yes, I'm sorry. Have I just gone and killed the lake? Luckily, I don't think we're going to be spending too long looking at the map. Let's quickly come out of here and have a little look at the tree count. 91,000 trees. So not the world's largest number of trees. We have this highway running across the map, which is this okay? Anybody been to Texas? Does this feel like Texas to you? Does this feel like the UK to me? It really doesn't. I'll tell you why it doesn't. I could probably believe the shapes of the hills, but the tree painting, is basically more or less spammed. There's not really much definition here, and there would be. You could get clusters of old historic forests, but there's no consistency to this at all, or any depth, any subtlety. It's just spam trees, isn't it? I think a little bit. Let's have a look at the junction, the start square intersection, if you can call it that. There it is. Yeah, that's going to become a very busy intersection. I would have gone for a little roundabout there. I know people are going to say, oh, Saul Biffa and Biffa said roundabouts don't work. Well, roundabouts are better than that. If traffic has to stop because there are no choices, then roundabouts would be better. For what it counts, for what it matters in terms of my opinions on intersections and stuff, I would say if you've got a rural road with not much traffic on it, this is fine. If once you start building on the map, of course, you would have, well, you won't get any more traffic because there's no connection from the highway. But so yeah, if this is rural, light traffic, this is fine. If you've got something with medium traffic, nice roundabout. If you've got something with high traffic, full-on intersection with dedicated slip roads. That's how I read it. And you can you're very welcome to basically tell people. In fact, you're very welcome. Where are we?
You're very, very welcome.
Thanks very much. Cool. Yeah, welcome to tell me how wrong I am. But anyway, as maps go, I was very that this does fit the name of the map. I'm going to give the creator credit. They have fitted the name of the map. Can we? Now, let's give it the benefit of not benefit of that. Let's try and connect up. Is it gonna? It's not gonna let us, is it? It's that I don't know even why I'm bothering to do this. Right, let's grab ourselves a road, and yeah, we cannot connect to that. It is outside of the city limits. We have at least tried. There was a small, slim chance that it might have done. It hasn't. Let me check the chat. How are we going on the chat? So close yet so far. Eggsy, absolutely, I agree with you. Yes, Texas map. I'm sure your Texas map is the best map in the world, Alvin. Share it. Building up to the boundary, but never quite over it. White Walker, you're not wrong there. 5 stars. It's an absolute 5-star map. Shush now. Not enough trees for East Texas and the wrong kind of trees for northern central Texas. Thanks for that. And at least the road is following the terrain, more or less, sort of, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think at that point we say goodbye to this map, and I will launch map number 4. That was kind of a step down from the first 2 maps, I feel. It is technically broken with lack of mass transit and also lack of an actual connection, which is a shame. Definitely a shame. Right, launch the game again. Now, there we go. Past the launcher. Once you get past the launcher, you know you're slowly getting there. Right, map number 4, real life location. The United States of America. Yeah. I say real life location. I've never heard of it, which makes me think that maybe it's the creator's hometown. It's their first map, and at the time subscribing to it, this map had 1 subscriber. It now has 2 because I would be subscriber number 2. I've already told you everything there is in terms of notes on this one, apart from the fact that it's a real life location, which leaves me a little bit of hope that, you know, they've got the terrain height map. They've imported it nicely. They've maybe done a little bit of work. Maybe even have a highway running into the start square. Thanks, Paradox Logo. You have successfully got off my screen now. I don't even need to share the screen here. Let me just find... I think this one's called... Hang on a second. Where is it? Why can I nay find it? That's 1. That's 2. 3. 4. Well, I might have to go and find it. We might jump to map number 5 in that case, because I'm sure I'll subscribe to it. It doesn't appear to be listed here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to map number 5, and I will subscribe to map number 4 while this one loads. So map number 5. an English speaker, and I'll tell you more about them in a moment. What can I tell you? Okay, those of you that want resources, you've got them. This is big on resources. Really strong. All 4 varieties. Water is on the lower end, but it's still fine. Vanilla temperate, 91% suitable area for building. We're winning. Let me start this map up. And whilst we are, I think we are. Boom, sir. Right, let me quickly, whilst this is doing this, go and find map number 4 off the workshop, which will be that one. Oh, I think they've taken it down. That'll be why I can't find it. I knew I'd subscribed to it. I think in the they're probably worried that they were going to get a review. Oh man, oh, it's a shame. It's a shame. We won't be doing that one then. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? It absolutely happens. We've got the old the bots. Yeah, I could probably use moderators, but just ignore them, and I will delete them at the end of the stream. I did actually have a can I get rid of them here? Hang on, let me just see if I can't get rid of them here. Apparently Stream Deck doesn't want me to be able to delete the chat, which is frustrating. Previously I've been running with a separate laptop on the go, and I've been deleting, but didn't bother this time. So yes, just ignore the bots. Don't click the links to the bots. Just don't do it. It'd be a bad idea. In terms of having got moderators, the thing is, in terms of the amount of viewers, I mean, we've got averaging about 20 concurrent viewers at the moment live. Do we really need moderators? I mean, if I absolutely have to, I can just launch YouTube on a window or in my browser, and just if I need to remove somebody. But yeah, just ignore the bots, and we will get rid of. I'll get rid of them at the end of the stream. Yes, just I really wonder if ever anyone oh gotcha, yeah, just ignore them. Right. What can you say, really? I'm almost tempted to go and check out the links myself. I'm not gonna. I'm almost tempted to. Right. Of course, this is where bots find true love, isn't it? That's the thing. Right, okay, so what have we got? Oh, hello, what's that? Yes, okay. So, my first glance here, I suppose we should do the whole preset. Let's get the preset up. So we get the glorious, super bright Technicolor. There we go. We've got, again, slightly gouged looking river. We have actually got highways running through the start square. We've got a little bit of blended forest as well. Eggsy would be proud of this work. They absolutely would. Sorry, Eggsy. The big old bridge looks a little bit low to me. And we've got a very clunky looking intersection from this angle. So that's everything I'm taking from this. Let's have a look at what we actually have. Start the simulation up, I guess, as well. Oh, well. It's a 5-star map, isn't it? Look, we've got the smiley face. We've also got some sort of pubic interchange here by the looks of it. Very interesting. The rail, which... That's a weird kind of rail crossing. The bridge looks okay. We've got... It's very right-angular, isn't it? Isn't it? Oh, what more to tell you with that one? Oh, I didn't tell you about the map. What I haven't told you about? I told you that it's an English speaker. The name implies that they're a noob. I'm not going to give you the name of the map, but it is brilliant. It's right up there with the creator. I can't think of a name. You know, it's the name of the map is basically saying, "Hey, I'm a noob," brilliantly. And their name is, I would say this is a mature creator, despite the slightly immature smile there. I think this is somebody who is well past their teens. Whether or not they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, or beyond, I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know what it's like to be beyond your 40s. But yeah, English speaker. It could be somebody from. Am I actually sharing? I am sharing the screen. I was a bit worried I haven't sharing the screen. Let me give you a full screen. There you go. I'm thinking that this creator is mature. Now I'm seeing somebody question the tree count. I'll check in a moment. Okay, I'll check in a moment. Right. Oh, well, we might have managed to find a way around the tree count, in that we are all in 25 tiles. So here we go. Let's find out. 250,000 trees precisely. That is something quite special. Because, of course, the tree count limit is about 262,000. So we're under the limit. But to have it exactly on 250,000, they were aiming for that. There's no way that was by chance. No way. Anyway, let's get rid of that. And we'll have a little look-see at the terrain heights, which is there. Well, we've got something going on up here, which is going to tell me I'm pretty sure we're going to have strong water flow from the start square. If we haven't, then this is a fail. Resources, I did say they were going to be strong, and boy, are they strong. They are all over the place. We've even got a little seam of fertile going on here. You may have picked up on in that opening image. There's your fishing. If you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, the fishing map will look like that. Shipping routes. Oh, good grief. Good grief. Let's get this. Oh, good grief. Okay. I approve of all of this. Loads of air routes coming in as well. I can approve of all of those. And then we have definitely some shipping clipping going on through here. Those bridges are going to be somewhat troublesome. And then I have no idea why we need all of these. But you can't argue that it doesn't work. It really does work. We're going to have a lot of sharp turning ships here, right angle turning here. But, give them credit for doing something fun. They have done something fun. When they built this map, they weren't thinking, I'm going to make the most realistic map of all time. They were saying, I'm going to have some fun, and good for them. Absolutely. Oh, we've done water flow. Hello. Why is the water flowing backwards? What? Okay, this is the fail. It's not strictly a fail, is it? Because I did call strong water flow, and that's exactly what we've got. It's just going the opposite direction. So you've got all of the evaporation going on in here, possibly some way too low spawn points in here. Let's see what we've got in the way of spawn points. Oh, that is basically what it's trying to be. So yeah, this is not keeping the water level up on its own. We've got water evaporating, being fed in down the river system. We've got strong water flow. If you pump sewage into it, it's going to get a bit murky in there. But honestly, you're not going to see it from most angles anyway, so let it be all pooey. Shape-wise, we've got a couple of... Oh, look, we've got little ponds here. Maybe they were going to go for a big waterfall. I think that... Do you know what? That's what they were going to do, wasn't it? They were going to go for a big waterfall. This is a map isn't finished. Then when they go for the big waterfall up here, pouring off of the side there, down into here, and then down and out. Maybe it's a work in progress. Maybe they're going to come back and do more to it. But yeah, it's it's not too brilliantly clever. Got one of the new roads. Good to see. I haven't played with them myself yet. And we have, let me come back into the better camera. There might be some trees on the road somewhere. I haven't quite seen any yet, but there might be some trees obscuring the road somewhere, which won't show up in vanilla, clearly. I have to point it out every time anyway. This intersection, something partly phallic with one nad chopped off. Very painful. It's a somewhat painful intersection, actually. The smiley face. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. And the bridges. I've already seen the rail bridge. I've already seen it. Yeah, that's fine. Remembering we have got shipping routes crashing through these. Blue mantle. There it is. There's your blue mantle. And a wonky bridge going on there. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Anybody really fancy playing this map? If you do, drop me a note and I'll send you the link. I'm not expecting there to be too many. Let's have a look into the chat. So what have we got? 250,000 back. Yeah, it was almost funny. Almost funny just in itself there. The map does work. Yeah, it's not broken. So this one, I have this in second place on tonight's list of maps so far. I still think the first map was our best map. Yeah, if you said that at the start of the show, yeah, this is going to be the best you can see, BonBon, I would not have believed you. But yeah, that's pretty good. Nice forestry industry. Thank you, Mew. I agree with you, definitely. Bridge is nice and flat. I'm sure there was one. Roller coaster intersection. Yes, that is what we had definitely going on there. Right. I seem to need a new version of TVP. What's TVP? Am I missing something? I'm using Stream Deck here. Maybe there is an update on Stream Deck I can get. The terrain is not flat. Maybe it's a rail lifting bridge. That's what we're looking at there. Anyway, that I think we'll do for map number 5, given that we don't have a map number 4. It's a shame about map number 4 because I was all set for it. I'm throwing myself back into this mode here. I will shut down the game. I will also clear my throat again because I am starting to get tickly. Just 1 second, please. And I'm back. Gonna have one of those up on the screen for the moment as well. Now's a good time to subscribe to the channel, which would be a neat thing. Right, and we'll launch for a game, map number 6. Now, I did say at the start of the show, if you were here at the start of the show, you caught it. If you weren't, there are going to be some big changes to the channel coming. Oh, tree vehicle prop mod. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, I think I have got the new one, but maybe it needs to be updated. I'm not sure. I'm not going to break a sweat on it because I'm not doing any building at the moment, and it shouldn't affect any of the maps in terms of map reviews. Oh, the bots are back. Yes, we'll get rid of it. We could do a bonus one at the end. We'll see how we go on time. Yeah, I'll look at that. Where were we? Yes, there were some big changes to the channel in 2023, right from the off in 2023. I'm not going to go into all of the detail now. The one thing that isn't changing at all will be the chart show, the Cities Skylines Top 20 on a Sunday. That one is remaining unchanged. Everything else is seeing change. Now, if you enjoy this particular, let me throw that back up there. If you enjoy this particular show, but you wish there were some better maps on it, I've got good news for you, because that is one of the changes that's happening in the new year. I'll probably keep this treasure hunt format going every now and then as well, just for the entertainment that we get from it, because I think it is fun, and we do check out some maps that we'd never ever see. But there are some big changes to the format of What's Map, to the format of the best maps of the month, chart to what else am I missing? I'm missing something else as well. But yes, all of the core stuff is going to get a change. The channel, I'm getting new subscribers all the time. It's great. I really appreciate everybody, but the views are static. I've not seen any real growth in views for about 3 years, with the exception of lockdown, where there was a peak in lockdown, but everybody had that. And typically around April, I get a boost. For some reason, I get a boost of new people coming to me in April, sticking around for a month, and then just going again. So I need to do something to give the channel a bit of a boost. And the new format for WhatMap will definitely allow me to do that. WhatMap Live, John, is not massively wrong. Not massively wrong. But it's not strictly correct either. I don't want to give too much away at this point. I'm doing a drip feed, but if you want to see better maps in this format, then 2023, right from the off, is going to be when you're going to have a good time. You're definitely going to have a good time. Again, though, for that particular show with the better maps, that this treasure hunt will remain free to view on the channel. The better maps, some of them will be free to view, but a lot of them will be for the BonBon Buddies on Patreon and on YouTube membership, because I've got to try and make some money somehow myself. So it'll be a mix of the two. The main WhatMap show will remain free to view, but the format will be massively changed, because I've got to try and do something to give the channel a kick, and that's the only thing I'm going to be able to do. Spring break might be the reason. The end of season break is the reason that I'm choosing to do. I could do it now. I could absolutely do it now. The reason why I'm not doing it now, one of the other things that's going to change is like the format for the best maps of the month. And also the way that I'm doing the reviews is going to change. And because there's so much changing, and we're so close to the end of the year in terms of number of weeks to the end of the year now. I don't know how many more weeks there are to the end of the year, but not that many. What, 12, something like that. The Map of the Year series, I don't want to compromise it this year by having a different format come in, and so I'm not really judging maps for like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the format that we've got now to the end of the year. So when the Map of the Year series comes, I will be able to review back and look back at my own reviews and make sure I'm picking out what I feel are the best maps for that. That's the plan anyway. That's the cunning plan. But yes, no, I won't be waiting until spring break. That's absolutely certain. We'll do it new year, new start, and see how it goes. But yeah, the current format is coming to an end. Hopefully for improvements for all of us, I hope. Right, where were we? I've got to launch a game, haven't I? Let me do that. Right. So what was my sixth? Oh, this could be anything. This could be crude, or it could be nothing. This could just be another ordinary, unfinished, not really going on. Right. Description. This is interesting. Okay. Right. I didn't expect this at all. Right. We have ore and oil in small amounts. We have fertile and forestry in medium amounts. Medium amount of water. Base game, vanilla, temperate theme. And overwriting that, the biomes updated theme. We've got a custom theme today on the temperate map. It's the first time we've actually had a custom theme. I think. I could be wrong. I think. Let's see what it's got to offer. Right, that's up and rolling. Okay, let me read you my notes, see what we've got. So the name of the map is an abbreviation, which is very close to being a naughty word. A very, very naughty word. The creator is from the United States. This is their second map. I had 1 subscriber at the time that I subscribed, so 2 right now. And I think they're particularly immature. Now, that does not mean they're a young creator. It could be a teenager, or it could be someone just like me or you who just thinks, oh, let's be funny and make some penis jokes or something like that. There's a degree of immaturity about the creator's account. Seeing we've got missing, I think the map's going to be broken. I think the map is going to be broken. Seeing all those missing pillars, highway missing. I'm a little bit worried that we're going to be simulation object failed. Yeah, this is. We'll just see if it actually does provide us with anything we can look at beyond the blue screen. Well, oh, hello. Now there's a surprise. Yeah, this isn't gonna last. Again, none of these items were listed on the workshop page. Hopefully we might be able to just beat it for long enough that we can pull the camera back and have a quick glance. But no, I think we are very much dead in the water. Yeah, this is very much a Control-Alt-Delete occasion, I do believe. I can't access that, and this is just going to keep doing this. Unfortunately, because my first glance at this is like, oh, hello, we've got like stuff. But yeah, that I have to say is very sad news. Control-Alt-Delete, Task Manager, Cities Skylines, end. Right. So that was it wasn't network extensions. With the loading screen mod, there was some Japanese highways that were missing, and so unfortunately, that was a thing. Right, let me go and have a look on the workshop and maybe pull up a different. This is one I considered. Let me do that one. All right, I've clicked subscribe to that now. So let's launch the game. I considered it. I skipped over it because I thought, nah, yeah, just guessing on the fact that it has just a name. Real life location map could be okay. We'll do this one. How are we doing on time? We've still got time. Might be able to squeeze 2 in, maybe. Right. So, come on. Let me see what we got going on up in the chat. A little bit of chat. More bots. Ignore the bots. Do not click on the bots. Thank you very much. Are we? We're nearly loaded. We're at the Paradox logo at the moment. Let me tell you what I can tell you from the workshop page. From the workshop page, it's a real life location. The creator has 4 workshop items, 2 maps, both Scandinavian. We are off to Scandinavia. There's your information. In terms of their name, I would say the European, possibly Central European, guessing from their name, maybe Czech, possibly Polish. I don't know, sort of speculation. Let me launch the game very quickly. New game. Name of the map is... Oh, this could be fun. I was hoping that the name of the map would appear Could that be it? Right, content manager, maps. I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find it. Bear with me a minute. When you don't call your map the same as it is on the workshop, it makes it a bit more difficult. Right, okay, so that is definitely that. Okay, I've got it. It's definitely this one. Got it. Right, right, vanilla temperate theme. We have no ore, no oil, no fertile, no forestry. Moderate amount of water. Don't be expecting too much. Do not be expecting too much. Right. Right. So what have we got going on in the chat? So computer says no, indeed. Can't get out of it. Yes, indeed. Blue. Glimpse looks like the map could have been a contender. It could have been a contender, Alvin. I agree with you. Is it Zardas? Who is this creator? Could be. Oh, I see. Because the C. Oh, hang on. Is it Zardas? As in this map we're loading? Because of the Central European name and the CZ? He's not from Central Europe. Zardas at all. Very, very the other side of the pond creator. Good creator as well. Big fan. Big fan. I don't think it would have been Zardas, as he's been making stuff for a while. Yes, good old Zardas. Do like Zardas. Follow them on Twitter, you know. Do check them out on Twitter. Right, I think we are very close to. Yeah, I'm going to go full screen. Woo, there you go. So, real life location. Some of you might recognise this instantly. I've already said Scandinavia, so that's not there's not many places it can be, is there really? Once you get to Scandinavia, you go, well, which one of the obvious locations is it? Waiting for this one to pop up. Are you going to pop up? You are. Thank you very much. Let's go to presets. What's map? Load preset. Boosh. Right. Clunky. Yeah, no one more to say about that one. Hopefully, it's going to be a highway. Hopefully, let's see. That's my frustration face. Anybody recognise this? Think. Yeah, it's the right way up. I think it's not to scale. Could be wrong on that one. I don't think it's a scale. There's your start square. Here's your highways. Oh, I want to cry. There's nothing wrong with this at all. I don't care what you say. This was taken from real life. Why would it not be like this? It's I'm not going to spend ages bigging this one up. I mean, I'm not even going to show you the. Oh, I suppose I could check for shipping routes, couldn't I? Guess. No point in me showing you terrain heights and we know there's no resources. There's no trees. There might be an interesting shipping route. Oh, there's a very interesting shipping route. Look at this interesting shipping route. It starts here. Right, starts here. And it stops here. And that's a really interesting shipping route. Was it supposed to be Oslo? You tell me. I'm not going to confirm nor deny anything right now because I don't want this creator. Again, I don't want to see any hate sent. If you find this creator, don't send any hate. They're doing their best. They're not expecting to be shared, spewed all over YouTube by somebody who's having a laugh at their work. I'm not here to have a laugh at the work. I'm here to try and find a hidden gem. I'm not expecting any of these to be hidden gems, which is the whole point of finding a hidden gem. When you find a hidden gem, like the first map, I'm not saying it was a hidden gem, but the first map we did tonight was, it was playable, and it would definitely suit for some new creators, that sort of thing, that are looking for a nice, easy map to build on. And so yeah, there are hidden gems out there. This one, less so, sadly. This one's a bit of a fail. I'm gonna call it without spending any more time on it, and see if we got time for one last one. I think that's definitely the path to take, rather than spend any more time looking at that one. We've got enough time if I do not fanny around too long. Right, what have we got? Both of those got potential in terms of the names. What's this one? No, that's a work in progress. That one is... I think we'll go with this one, because it's got a fairly sensible name, fairly strong name. We are subscribed to it. Very interesting requirement for this, though, which worries me slightly. But let's not fret on that. So let me see. We launch the game up. This will be the last one now, regardless. This is the last chance to find something gem-like in amongst all of these thumbnail free, well, description free. Yeah, just we're not expecting anything. So anything we find is a bonus. All right, how are we going on the chat? So I'll have a little look at the chat in the moment. We're at the Paradox logo. Right, so where we go? Highways are a little bit fun, I feel there. Shipping routes, it might be a water start. It won't be a water start, Evil Dave. It wasn't connected to the edge of the map, Evil Dave. Star Wave. I think it's an interesting shape of land. I agree. TLC, it could have been a very nice map. Thank you. That is exactly the sort of comment we need. I should have made comments like that, but I feel so disheartened tonight that I've just been slapped in the face a few too many times by maps that have just let us down a little bit. Anyway, yes, we are good to go. Right. So we are ready to launch this next one. What did I say this map was? Oh, there it is. It's listed under its proper name, which is great. So easy to find. Vanilla Boreal theme. We have all of the outside connections. We've got a moderate amount of oil, a little bit of ore, a moderate amount of fertile, a decent amount of forestry, and a moderate amount of water. It's all good so far. Loading screen thumbnail was taken by night, but that won't surprise anybody. And we're going to click and go for it. Okay, we might be finishing on the high. We might be finishing on a high. At least I hope so. Oh, wowzers. A little bit more of the old sippy sippies. Let me throw one of those up. Oh, I don't know. Yes, I've got the merch. So amongst other things, if you fancy a BonBonB mug, there are mugs available. There are multiple T-shirts available as well. I've got a button for that somewhere. There he is. We've got T-shirts as well over on the merch store. If you really want the BonBonB T-shirt. Oh, you know what I haven't done is I haven't put my logo on the screen. Let's get that bumping. There we go. It's brand. It should be brand awareness, really, shouldn't it? Should be more of this. Oh, this does not look good. What have we got? I've got a simulation fail again. I got a feeling argument is out of range on this one, apparently. So I think we were going well until that, I feel. Are we gonna be working enough? Sometimes you can get through this, and sometimes you can't. No, we've got another one of these, I'm afraid to say. So what I'll do, let me have a quick look at the report. See if the report gives us any information on this one. As I'm here, and as I'm just sat with no map to look at. Cities Skylines, report, loading screen. Open with. It's not missing any assets. I don't know why this map is broken. It's just broken. I could use some of these reports to find out, but don't think it matters. I really don't think it matters. Dang it. I was ever so hopeful. Let's go back to there. I was very, very helpful. It would be nice if the error messages gave more clue. The you can pull more was it extended errors reporting mod and so forth. You can from the log as well. You can more or less work out what's causing the problems, but with that one, I know they uploaded the broken map as far as I'm concerned. Dang it. Hi Gorilla. Don't give up on maps from the workshop. Really don't. They this is why we have WhatsMap. Right. I check out the maps so you don't have to. You can see a map's gonna load. We occasional issues, and if there are issues, I'll tell you in advance what they are, if there's a way around them. Because quite often it'll be a question of, let's say there's it's a mass transit map, but it's not listed, so you haven't got mass transit. With my me telling you it's mass transit, the map is broken, but it's not broken because you just make sure you've got the DLC and so forth. But yes, don't forget to smash the like button. Thanks, White Walker. We'll throw that up here as well. So we're expecting the maps on today's show to be potentially broken because these are maps with no thumbnail, with very little description, if any description. And so these are mostly creators who are uploading their first map who don't know what they're doing. But that's not to say that they're not the best creator of all time. But the map's not going to get subscribed to because there isn't a thumbnail and they've got no follower. So therefore, let's say, argument's sake, let's say Sidai, picking Sidai completely random here, Sidai sets up a separate account and makes a map and uploads it, and it would never get seen. And yet they are one of the best of all time. Maybe the best of all time. Make your own opinions. But they are certainly one of the A-tier creators. So there's no reason why you can't come along. Let's say you've got someone like who's $2.20. They have made maps, but someone like $2.20 where you know they have all of the skills. If they've never made a map before, their first map could be outstanding. Obviously, though, and if they didn't have a YouTube channel to share, if you've got somebody of $2.20 standard with lots of experience in game, and they upload their first map, but they don't upload a thumbnail to go with it because they just share it with a couple of mates, but it's on the workshop, and we could all play it if we wanted to. That's where the maps on this show, what's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find that hidden gem, but we're expecting most of them to be broken, and it's fine. We have a bit of fun tonight, and that's all that really matters. You're not skilled to play with the tools to level and smooth. Well, first of all, muck around with it. You've got Control Z to undo. So if you do some terrain work, so I do. If you do some terrain work and you don't like what you've done, Control Z, that undoes it. Play about with it if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just play with maps that are pre-made. And again, use WhatsMap. There are plenty of really good flat maps out there. There is the map list. If you check in the description, today's show and every single episode of WhatsMap, you'll find a link to the map list where you can search for flat maps. Now, that's not to say that all the flat maps in there are great maps. Some are great, some are... It's all of the flat maps. And they all link to the WhatsMap review. So you can actually watch... You can find a map that's a flat map, watch the review, watch the first minute, decide whether or not that's definitely not for you. If it's definitely not for you, find another flat map off the list, go straight to the review. And then, once you find one in the review you kind of like, and watch the review right the way through, see whether or not it's broken, whether there might be any issues with it, what I think of it, whether there's just like a bit of detailing that can be tidied up, or whether it's like an all-star map. That's the way to go about finding a flat map that you know is good. But don't give up on the workshop, because the workshop have got infinitely better maps than the base game maps. Infinitely better maps and DLC maps. DLC reviews for the new DLC will be next weekend. Next week. I haven't bought the DLC yet, but I will be, and I'm going to be throwing together my my impressions of the DLC maps, and that will be going up Sunday next week, all things being well. Oh, thank you very much again. I'm not reading anybody else's comments. I'm just reading Gorilla's comments here. Yeah, yes. Thank you very much for being an asset. I try. But so I still think my most valuable show is the Cities Skylines Top 20, the chart show on a Sunday. That is not even necessarily to watch the week it comes out, because you've got the workshop. You can go and have a look on the workshop, what's on the front page. All I'm doing is reporting what's on the front page of the workshop. But when something drops out of that front page, if you know what you're looking for, let's say you're looking for an Empire State Building, search Empire State Building, and you'll find all of the Empire State Buildings. If you don't know exactly what you're looking for, but you're looking for, you're looking for, I don't know, a modern looking building, but you don't really know what you're going for, there will have been dozens and dozens over the last few years that made it to the front page, but you wouldn't know what to search for. It might be a creator that doesn't upload things anymore. We're thinking of Smileys, absolutely, but what about a creator who's just stopped? Now, we don't see much from Jez these days. Jez, one of the all-time great creators, but he did all those marketplace assets for like Central Europe, amazing assets, but you wouldn't think to look for them. And that 1 week that he had them all on the front page of the workshop, and they were he was sort of like 12 out of 20 places, and they were all just variations on market stalls. And you wouldn't even think to search. So what even I do this every now and then is I'll just set the chart show on the playlist. I will start from, I'll pick a random number, 17 or 34 or 107, and I just let it roll. And even I'm surprised, because it's background noise for me when I record it. It's just background noise. This is what's, and then I forget. I'm like you, I will forget what was on the workshop. So what you then do is have just reminders of like, oh, I forgot about that little thing. Oh, that card's amazing. Just stuff that you've forgotten about. Yeah, you can watch 2 or 3, and they're only 4 minutes long. You can watch 2 or 3 and not see anything, and then on the 4th one, there might be 3 or 4 assets that you really want. So I think that's the real gem of a show. It's the one thing that I think adds the most value for City Skylines players. Whilst, yes, clearly WhatsMap, and tutorials. That's the one thing that when we get to 2023, nothing's changing with that at all. That is staying exactly the same. I'm going to keep going with that. Even though it's every single Saturday of my life for the last, 4 or 5 years now. Every single Saturday, hour and a half of my time sat down recording it. It's got to be done. Let's have a little look at the chat before I call it a night. Yes, another blue screen and all that. and so forth. Procedurally generated maps. Yeah, the problem with procedurally generated maps is you never know what you're going to get, and it can be pretty crap. If you played No Man's Sky, I love No Man's Sky. I haven't played it for a long while, but I love No Man's Sky. And all the planets are different, and they're all procedurally generated, and they are all meh. I mean, a few of them are a bit, but it's you walk over the horizon, go, I'll see what's over the horizon. It's just more of what you've seen already. There's no variation of biomes or anything like that. It's just meh. Once you've explored a corner of a planet, there's not really much more to explore. Really, it's like you've done that corner. You can't spend. Well, you can spend a year mapping out an entire planet, but it's just not worth doing. So procedurally generated maps, it'd be a nice thing. I hope that they can come up with it, but I just don't see, especially with Colossal Order, I don't see them coming up with a system like a transport manager. Was it transport manager? Hang on, what's it? What's it called? Transport Fever. There you go, Transport Fever. Their procedurally generated maps are quite nice. Nothing particularly exciting, but they're quite nice. But again, it is a larger environment with just some small towns and cities dotted around. Where are we? Right, there we goes. Yes, so we do have the DLC reviews coming up. That'll be coming up on Sunday. Biffa City Planner and a couple of others. Yeah, indeed. Do I have a list of the weekly to top 10? Huh? Hang on. What? Do I have a list? Hey, BonBonB, do you have a list of the weekly to top 10 vids? There is a playlist. If you're talking about the chart show, the Cities Skylines top 20, there is a playlist. If you go onto my YouTube page and just search for playlists, you'll find it there, and every single one, and you can choose where you want to start from, click play, and it's just one after the other after the other. No Man's Sky doesn't have the amount of variation that they promoted. Of course, top 10. Now, do I have top 10 20 lists? I still don't know what you're asking for, Evil Dave. Write it longhand. I'm not going to end the show until I work out what the hell you're whittering on about, my friend. Making no sense to me whatsoever. Oh man, yes. Anyway, yes, I think we're getting close to the end. Anyway, we've had a few fails. Today's first map, if you want to go back to start the show, today's first map I think was the best. Probably in terms of verticality, it wasn't really interesting, but it had some interesting shapes. It wasn't broken. Some okay standards. Could just do a bit of cleaning up here and there. Say again with some elevation changes would have been nice. But all told, I think they've done a reasonable job on that first map, and nothing else quite lived up to it. We got some that were close. There we go. Random 5. If you mean something like a map list, you go to the second page of the spreadsheet. Oh yeah, indeed. Yes. Thanks, Random. That's probably what he meant. This is the workshop. Yes. If you go, as Random just said, on page 2 of the map list. There is. I'll be up to date on that, Random. I've not looked for a while. I've been too busy, like yourself. You've not updated for a few weeks. I've not updated it for a few weeks. But it's there's a lot. You can search through that one, but because it is a jumble, and it's not like with the map list. With the map list, you can search by biome, by there's so many different filters that you can set for the map list. For the Cities Skylines top 20 list, it's just name, asset, position, link. That's it, and the week that it was there, and just thousands of them. So it's not really the most. Random and I weren't going to go sit down and work out. Right, okay, let's put everything into a category. We're not going to do that. We are not. Or he can if he wants to. I ain't helping. So the best, I think the best way is just click play on the playlist, let it play, and if something catches your eye, it was worth it. It was worth it. And like I say, we've got 130-ish. Is it 130 episodes? Plenty enough to keep you busy. Right, miss the old Asset Town. Oh yes, Assetville. Or was it, hang on, because Assetville was the first one, but I know the one you mean where I just kept it adding into it. Yeah, that got a little bit out of hand. It was fun though. What map is dropping tomorrow morning? With yeah, you'll just have to wait. It's dropping tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. UK time, usual. So all good. But yes, yeah, we're not doing it random. Quite right. And Callum's here. Hi, Callum. Yes, Callum is known to me personally. Good to have you along. We're just about to end the stream now, Callum, but it was nice that you were here. I'll say hi. Hi, Callum. Yeah, look after yourself, my friend. And everybody else, for that matter, everybody who's in the stream. We've been going for an hour and 45 minutes now. It's time. It's time to call it. So if you've got any messages of love, I'm going to share this. There you go. Have one of those. Oh, yeah, we'll end with that. Yes. If you've still got them, can you upload them? Simon. Hi, Simon. It started off, the first map was probably the best one. In terms of overall score. In terms of overall, I'm not saying it was great, but in terms of every time you got to, we looked at a new map, it was like, oh, this was so close. And there were a few that were so close, and a few that were very broken as well. So yeah, the first one was probably the highlight for me, and I would never have put money on that. Anyway, I am about done, I feel. I'm about done. Thanks very much for watching, for commenting, for liking. Hi, Fox. Hi, Lucas. You're here too late. You're here too late. We're going. I'm just going to say, I'm going to wind it up now. We're on our way out now. The lights are going off. See that BonBonB symbol in the top corner? The lights are going off. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome. Join me tomorrow for What's Map, the chart show on Sunday, and then a whole bunch of What Maps next week. Building up towards the end of the year, the Map of the Year series, where I'll be picking out the best maps from the year, and a brand new start in 2023, where the channel is going to be completely reshaped, reformatted, still focusing on maps, but just freshening everything up. Be a much better year. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome. I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.
Escape to paradise in the comfort of your own backyard with the world's best-built spas. Handcrafted in Canada, award-winning design and ISO quality certified, Coast Spas are built with the strongest shell available and designed for the harshest conditions. Each spa has high-performance massage jets that deliver the ultimate hydrotherapy experience. And a commercial-grade pressurized filtration system produces the cleanest of clearest water. Get features you can't find anywhere else, like dual 24-inch waterfalls and patented Infinity Edge hot tubs and swim spas.